Today I have partnered up, oh my god, I'm so excited. Today I've partnered up with my friends over at Casper to give me the much needed inspiration and motivation to get all this schmegola out of this guest bedroom in our house and completely make it over head to toe. But in order to replace the mattress, we first need to get rid of all the other things. What's really sad is that we actually have guests over quite a bit. No, there is no junk in there when they're here, but there's also no decor, there's no voice, no theme, nothing feels cozy, and I wanted to change that. I wanted to actually be jealous of this room when I was done with it. I think the crazier thing about this room is that the bathroom is actually completely dialed because I made that over no problem, and I feel like it's kind of backwards, like you make over your bathroom last, not your bedroom. You can see a little sliver of the bathroom here, and it just has white natural tones but a blue pop of color because I was trying to tie in the bed from this bedroom to the bathroom. It's just one big mess. The first thing that we need to do is dive right in, take all of the junk out, donate what we need to, throw out what is not good, and move forward with a blank canvas. Once all the tiny things were out of the room, I moved on to the chunkier pieces, and this is to prep to paint. The reason you do not see me patching the holes here are because these are drywall anchors where these screws are. I decided to keep them open on the off chance that I wanted to hang curtains back up in the same spot and save myself a step. So that is why you don't see me patching holes right now. I have to be 100 with you guys. I absolutely hate prepping to paint and I hate painting, but I'm going to show you how I do it. I've learned a lot since I've painted this room, so leave your tips and tricks down below. But first things first, tarp absolutely everything off that you possibly can, because even right here, you see a lot of tarp. I didn't tape it down or I didn't secure it to the floor, and there's little like droplets that got through, so that was fun to deal with later. So be sure everything is protected. Next, if it's a room that's not used much, I actually do this in a lot of my rooms, I will wipe the walls down with a damp towel just to make sure all of the dust and debris is off of the surface that we're about to paint so it doesn't get caught up in the roller and spread dust everywhere and make it look chunky and weird. Just a personal preference for me, I like to trim out the room twice before I dive in with my roller, and it's very tedious. Do not get me wrong, this is why painting is just so excruciatingly painful for me, but I'm surprised I had the patience to get through this. Anyways, trim it out. I do it twice, and then I go in with my roller, let that completely dry, and then I come back in with a second coat. I don't do 3 coats, typically 2 work for me, and I do a primer and paint combo with this bare white paint that I use in all of my makeovers because I'm kind of a little bit boring in that aspect. After painting is where I find my inspiration for builds, and I don't know if you guys noticed, but actually 5 different tutorials that I already have here on my channel and a mixture on Blueprint as well live within this room. So if you want to check out more of how I executed these builds, you can find me trying to follow along with Ben Ueda for his modern bench, the $10 floating nightstand, the chunky rope hanging shelves that are one of my favorite builds. Linked it for you down below and cards throughout the video, so be sure to go ahead and check those out for the full tutorial. Moving right along, I said earlier that I didn't patch up the holes because I thought I was going to be using the anchors that were already in the drywall for these curtains. Well, that was false information because I decided to hang them just a little bit higher to give the room even more height than what it had before. I feel like this is a design staple, but if you want to make your room look larger than what it is, by hanging the curtain rods a little bit closer to the ceiling, you're going to make the walls look taller. So if you don't know that, now you do, and it's one of my favorite little hacks. I added a full-length mirror because this room did not have one. I got this guy off of Amazon. It is huge, but it also has a minimal frame which goes with the whole room. Getting good at hanging things up for the first time, all proper. Yeah, oh my god, that looks so good. Moving on to the finer details, sometimes I like to purchase frames from HomeGoods and they are dinged up just a little bit, but I can't find them anywhere else. So I go in with some filler primer, my choice is spray paint, sandpaper, straight edge razor, and a cloth to fix it up. Typically, you would just remove everything and have the frame left over, but these screws did not want to budge, so I had to tape off the glass and anything I didn't want to get spray paint on. After I had everything taped off, I went in with just various different sandpaper grits. I started with a 60, worked my way to an 80, got to 120 until all those grooves and dings were out of there. I wiped off the dust and debris and then moved forward with using my filler primer first, and I would recommend being very light. You do not need to cover the frame. The first round of spray paint, you'll most likely get drip marks, so I lightly coated that until it fully covered the sanded frame. I let that dry completely and then went in with my flat black spray paint, and once that was dry, I peeled all the tape away and it looked like I had a brand new frame, but now on camera it looks no different than the before because it's black. I went back into the bedroom and realized that there were some holes that I missed. I use a joint compound now per the tips from my dad, Mr. Metz, because you can just use your spackling knife, fill up the hole, let that dry. You don't have to like sand it down or take any texture off your wall. You can actually just wipe it away with a damp cloth. You do want to paint those holes, but the frames that I just fixed up were going right here, so I skipped that step. That headboard I did make, but I did not make it on my channel. I linked where the video is down below for you guys. It's with my friends over at Blueprint, but the reason I'm showing you this little moment is because I was losing height with the situation above the headboard, and I decided to add a DIY that I've made a little while ago and hang it up there, not only for more texture, but to make it a little less harsh and more relaxing and cozy with the feathers. Since I'm not making a mess anymore by putting holes and letting drywall debris fall all over the place, it's time to dive into this Casper mattress. The Casper mattress shows right up to your door, which makes life just that much more convenient for you, and you can handle this all on your own by unrolling it straight to your bed frame. The Casper brand mattresses combine multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep surface with the right amounts of both sink and bounce. Casper actually just released 2 more models, and there are now 5 to choose from, which you can totally try with their 100-night risk-free sleep on it trial period. I had so much fun unboxing this mattress, mainly because I was so intrigued a queen size mattress can roll up and fit into this box, and I just get to unroll it and have a ridiculous mattress right then and there. Casper is not just a mattress company though. They offer a wide array of products to ensure an overall better sleep experience. Once I started rolling this bad boy out and it started coming to life before my eyes, I started realizing that these mattresses are perfectly designed for humans, which are engineered to soothe and cradle your natural geometry. I've always had beds with springs in it. I've never had like a memory foam mattress. Once I plopped in this thing, tuck me in. Callie and her balloon got a little too cozy too quickly, but if you also want to get cozy in your own Casper mattress, you can head over to casper.com/METZ, my last name, and use the promo code METZ, again, Metz, my last name, at checkout for select mattresses to get $100 towards your purchase. I really did want to take a nap though, but Callie trampled my face, so let's just move right along. I didn't like the blue bedding that we had on before. We also have a blue accent wall, so I stuck with the tried and true crispy white linens with the comforters and the pillows, because again, this is a guest bedroom, and when we have different types of guests, if they spill or have makeup on, I can just bleach these and they're back to brand new. Now it is time for all of the final details, like this throw pillow, which I'm not quite sure if I like it. I do like tying the black into the bed, so I'll be on the lookout for another one. But in this empty corner, I didn't want to put another chair because we had the bench at the end of the bed. So I picked up these plant stands from Home Goods, added a snake plant, and I can't remember what this second plant is called, to fill up that space a little bit with a pop of color.
Ooh, sassy.
Callie was quite excited, but moving on, we are going to be decorating the wall desk. I've linked the video for you guys. This is made out of a sheet of plywood. You guys can do it, I promise you. When decorating a space that I'm not necessarily using for work, I want to keep it neutral, but I also want my personality in it. So there's a lot of textures with the beaded beetle in the corner, and then this cool little wall hanging that's made out of wood, and the rope ball, and all these different little elements that still have that personal touch and isn't boring. This, hands down, is one of my favorite transformations, and you're about to see why. The nightstand to the right really isn't a nightstand. It holds all of our outdoor movie theater equipment, so I draped a piece of cloth over it and got glass cut down just to use that as a tabletop, and tied in the browns of the other nightstand with the books on this nightstand. Even though there is a shelving unit and a full-length mirror on this wall, it doesn't seem overly crowded, but also keeping the decor nice and neutral since this is a guest bedroom. Paul's sister gifted him some classic boxing magazines or vintage boxing magazines. I cut out different ads and placed them within the frames that match Paul and I's personality. And then these long nails are from my parents' courtyard that I'm redoing with my dad right now, and I turned that into decor as well. This corner with the chair and the desk is missing just a little something. I think it needs like a fur throw over the back of that chair. But all in all, it's a breath of fresh air. It's somewhere people can sit and get some work done so they don't have to sit on the bed or feel like they don't have a moment to work and then a moment to sleep and relax. Yes, there may be a lot of decor on this wall desk, but that does not negate the fact that there is plenty of room to add a laptop or put your iPad down or whatever you work on to sit at the space and be comfortable. Thank you again to Casper for sponsoring today's video. While I got to cut out the middleman of having to go to the store, pick a mattress, and come back, I was able to focus on the design, the builds, and the execution of the room. This is hands down one of my favorite makeovers. I just feel like it really reflects me as an adult for a space like this. But do not forget to head over to casper.com/METZ to get $100 off select mattresses by using my promo code METZ at checkout. Terms and conditions do apply, so just make sure you're reading thoroughly. You will not be disappointed by these mattresses, guys. Plus, you're cutting out a whole step so you can focus on your DIY room flip. I'll see you next Wednesday for another DIY.